welcome to the OnePride podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And in today's show, that's what we're going to get into. It's going to be all about, obviously, the NFL trade deadline, Lions versus Vikings, NFC standings. We're going to be talking about players and injuries. I'm sure you're going to be asking some questions. We're going to do some Q&A. We're going to have a fun time here for a little bit to have some fun here to talk about our beloved Detroit Lions. We got Shift in the building. A.J. Jones, Survivalist Amber, Hello Michigan, Vernon. We got Pete Carrolls, Hunter Klein, Pete Carrolls, like that, and Tater Bob in the building. Appreciate everybody in here. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Why is that? Well, because I just asked. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the injuries. Great news. So a lot of people are starting to come back. A lot of people are practicing, whether it be limited practicing or full practicing. Phenomenal news. Taylor Decker, full practice all week. He's been dealing with that shoulder injury, dealing with the cleanup after the surgery, and this is the first time he has practiced all week. Remember, they have been doing rest instead of practicing. So what does that mean? Shoulder may be starting to finally calm down for him, and that is amazing news, if that is the case. Amazing news. That is important to the Lions' offensive line and how we get better. Because what I've seen with our offensive issues is the line. So if you have Taylor Decker, if he is, we don't know if he is fully good to go with that shoulder injury, that's massive news. So that's huge right there. So it's good for that. For all of the injuries on the defense, Terrion Arnold, full practice, should be good to go. Malcolm Rodriguez, limited practice. They'll start his counter. They started his counter, a couple days ago. I don't think he'll play. They'll take him in slow, but he's getting healthy. DJ Reed, maybe after this week, he should be good to go. They'll probably rest him for the Vikings game. Davenport, they said he'll come back sometime this season. We don't really know, but he will. No update on Joshua Pascal. Rock Ya-Sin, good to go. Brian Branch, good to go. Now, Kirby Joseph didn't practice. He's dealing with the knee, and I would really love for them to just take it slow with that knee. But look, he probably could play if they needed him to play. That is for sure. But Lions getting healthy. Right time to get healthy. Right time to get refreshed. It's great. So that's fantastic news right there. And we'll continue to get good positive injury news. The Vikings, they're getting some players that are healthy, but I got to keep it a buck. It doesn't really matter because they're completely banged up. Darisaw, banged up. Right tackle, banged up. Grinnard, banged up. Now, Van Ginkel did practice all week. He's a really good player. He'll probably be healthy. Doesn't matter. I think the Detroit Lions are going to put up a boatload of points on Sunday. I think this is going to be the offensive juggernaut that a lot of people have been waiting for. Lions should boat race these mugs pretty easily. So, and I do a Lions versus team breakdown. In a case with this game, there's really no need for me to do that. Wasting 12 minutes of your time because it's clear as day when you can look at it that team right now is really, really, really banged up, and that's a lot of problems. And obviously, they have issues in regards to the quarterback position. So, some issues there. Lions should win that game. What do you guys think in the comments? What do you think that the score what's your score prediction? What do you think it's going to be? I have in the 40s for the Lions. I don't know, like a 42-23, something like that. Game where you're not worrying too much. Maybe the Vikings score a little bit at the end of the game. The offensive line, though, for that team is really bad because of the issues of injury, and they've been banged up all year. So it's going to be a situation, in my opinion, where I think that Aiden Hutchinson's going to feast. I believe that Lee McNeil is going to feast, and we're going to get a lot of sacks. What's up, Axeman? So that will put the Lions at 6-2, in my opinion. Cap says 35-14. Lions victory. Right there. Mike Jones. What is going on? Appreciate everyone there. I have the Lions winning this game handily and easily. And that's not trying to be, the Lions are great, which I do think they're really good, but I do think that the Vikings are just really banged up on the injury front. J.J. McCarthy is coming to a bad game. This is not the game they wanted him to come to. Lions defense looking amazing. And we're good at the mobile quarterback now. We're good at stopping the mobile quarterback. So he's going to have he's going to have a welcome to the NFL moment on Sunday. I think he's going to get beat up pretty bad. Jerry says 56-14 Lions. 45-14 Lions. That's a lot. And we got Thursday Night Football tonight. That is great news because we all love football. You think that Goff gets the touchdown back? No, that's not going to happen. They definitely ruled that way. 41-10 Lions. Excited for the Lions on Sunday. And we're going to be live for it on noon. And it'd be noon to the game is over. And then we will do a post-game video because it's a 1 p.m. game. The reason I haven't been doing a lot of post-game videos, games getting over at 11:30, 12, it's pointless. 1 p.m. game, I will definitely do that. There. So let's go ahead and jump now to the NFL trade deadline that everybody wants to talk about, including myself. Oh, we can talk about the Aiden Hutchinson contract really quick. I told you he was going to get a mega deal a week before it happened. He got his mega deal. Lions fans, you should be happy. It's a good deal. 4 years. 180 mil, 45 a year. He's good. He is the heartbeat of the Lions defense, so it's a good deal. A lot of people are saying, did they do this because of the trade deadline? I'm going to tell you no. That's not why they did it. Watch the past throughout the years with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They do extensions in midseason, and they do it. They do it sometimes on the bye week. That's why I said, yeah, probably it'll happen this year. So don't read into that being a bye week thing because they got it done now. It's just coincidental, in my opinion, because they've been doing this for years. So Aiden got his deal done. Lions are great, nearly $1 billion to all these players, and that's phenomenal. That means you drafted well, folks. So that's good news right there. That's phenomenal news right there. And yes, they can get Jahmyr Gibbs. He'll get paid under. And by the way, folks, running backs cap is nothing like a defensive end, left tackle, quarterback, cornerback. It's up there with it's up there with the lower pay of linebacker. So the Jahmyr Gibbs thing, guys, don't worry about it. It's not that. It's not like he's going to get paid $40 million a year. That doesn't happen for running backs. Now, the Sam Laporta one, that will be interesting. I think he could be the odd man out because Brian Branch means a lot to this defense, or they can work him in there somehow. I have faith that they can work him out. So I'm not worried about the money. I'm really not. And if there's a situation where we can't keep one of these guys, we just redraft that position. Remember, everybody was worried about we lost TJ Hawkinson. We traded him away. The Lions were giving up. Blah, blah, blah. The Vikings, they were the ones that won the trade. And I told you guys, no, the Vikings did not win the trade. I said the Lions won the trade. Everybody laughed. And now look. So Brad Holmes knows what he's doing in regards to this stuff. I have 1,000% faith in him. I don't even worry about contracts anymore and getting players under deals. And if we don't get a specific guy, they'll just replace it. So we got to stop worrying about this. I was just on ESPN today talking about, they asked about the window again. They asked me about the Jared Goff window. This is what I said. The window is always going to be open when you draft well. It's always going to be open. That's how you are a competent franchise. Teams that are consistently in the playoffs year after year after year after year after year. That's what it is. They draft well. That's the Lions. How many times have they've been saying the Rams, it's over? Yet they are damn good because they draft so well. Steelers, they're always in the playoffs. That's the Detroit Lions. And Jared Goff, they asked me about his window. How many years, they said, do you think he's got left? 5 years? 4 years? I'm like, no. He could go till he's 39, 38, 39, 40. Why is that? It's not his mobility that's part of his game. So as you get older, your mobility slows down, or and then taking the hits don't happen, it's going to extend him. Players like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, they really relied on that. Jared Goff never relies on that. Does he have the strongest of arms? No. He doesn't have the strongest of arms. So as you get older and the strength of the arm decreases, it's not really going to matter too much to him. What's his game? His brain is his game. And when you are really good at deciphering defenses and reading the plays, and you're just doing your reads, you're not taking that many hits, you can extend your career. I look at him like a Peyton Manning type of player. He could go till he's 40. So that's what I put in today, and I will put it on there. Unless he has some sort of significant injury that end his career, he can be like a Joe Flacco. He can be one of these guys that's playing till he's 39, 40. Let's go ahead and talk about the trade deadline and trades. We'll do some QA here, and then we'll get into it. I don't think the line's going to make I keep seeing these headlines or titles: Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. That's not happening. We don't have the money for it. We have money right now, and I think it's $25 million. We're 31st in cap space next year. The money's going to get rolled. They're going to roll some of this money over. Okay? So, yes, we have money. We could, in theory, bring Trey Hendrickson in now. But then you just destroyed your team next year. So, because we want to roll some of that money over so we can save some of that cap space. A mega trade's not going to happen. A Myles Garrett, that stuff. Don't see that happen at all. And anytime that I see those things, I just don't believe it at all. Just not going to happen. Mount Mutombo. Yeah, Mount Mutombo. Get thrown to Mount Mutombo. That's a good one. But if we're talking about trades I do think the Lions will make a trade. A player like Arik Woolen, right? An Arden Key, something lower. Maybe a 6th-round draft pick. We got 2 6s and 2 7s. No way the Lions are going to need. They're going to have 4 of those players make the team next year. I mean, we're having problems now. Hassanin, he'll be coming back in a week. But you look at our roster, it is so great. So great. So it's going to be harder and harder and harder to have all these late round draft picks on this team. So it's going to be hard. So why not take some of these late draft picks, in which we got 4 of them? You can flip one and get a player that can help the Lions now, immediately, and it's not going to hurt the franchise at all because the money is no big deal and the draft pick's not going to hurt anything. That's the type of trade I see the Lions doing right there. And I've been saying it. They'll make a trade. I don't know if it'll be for a corner or for an edge. Hell, maybe they do a backup lineman. Manu could be done for the year, so maybe it's a backup tackle. Some of that nature. Maybe it's not a big name trade, but that's what I would expect. But I want to expect some mega trade, guys. I'm sure teams called on Myles Garrett. We're going to be hearing this in Twitter, X. We're going to be hearing it. I'm sure. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I would look for these smaller trades for the Lions. Remember, we have made a lot of trades. This team, this idea that we're not a team that trades is a lie. We've made a ton of trades, actually. They're just not high-end trades. Except for the very first Jared Goff trade. That was it. But we've made trades. Carlton Davis, Trinity Benson, the Jared Goff trade, in the draft trade. Obviously, Zadarius Smith trade. We traded Tim Patrick. So, we make trades. If you guys got questions, throw it in the comments right now. We're going to do some QA. Any questions you want, trade deadline questions, Lions, Vikings questions, whatever, blow it up here. Davenport is gone after this season. Yes. He's gone after this season. He's gone, and I would fully expect Joshua Paschal to be gone. That's what I fully expect. Yes, I said the Goff was the high-end trade. Yes, that was the very first trade. This team's made a lot of trades. Yes, Frazier could be coming back too. That's good for the interior of the offensive line, but they could be looking again for a backup tackle. Look, Giovanni Manu went down for the year, and I got to keep it a buck. I don't care. I know that sounds mean. I don't want him to feel pain, injury, like that. All the injuries suck, but in regards to the Lions in the depth at tackle, he was terrible. He was awful. So, I mean, we looked like we took a developmental pick on him, and which is fine, and it didn't work out. So him going down for the year, it's like, okay. Yes, Anzalone will be leaving, and yes, I would expect that Rodrigo be back. Why is that? It's not going to cost the Lions anything. It is going to be a low-end contract. He's a backup. So it will be veteran minimum, and that's good because Rodrigo he's a decent linebacker. He's a decent linebacker. But yeah, he'll be back. I disagree. I do believe so, that we trade for someone. Again, I've heard of Reek Wallen. That is the name that I've heard. Jalen Phillips is a name that I've heard, but I've also heard that there's other teams that's really trying to get Jalen Phillips right now. And the Lions, they're not going to outbid anybody. But like an Arden Key or something like that. Or a backup tackle, which, who knows? You're correct, Brent, and absolutely. But a good update, again, he practiced all week today. And no issues with the shoulder, but you are correct. It is absolutely concerning. And by the way, for the draft, I fully expect the Lions to invest in a tackle with the first pick, but not left tackle. Expect right tackle. Move Panay to the left side. But I still say Taylor will be here next year. But they got to prepare for his exit. Because of injuries, they're starting to pile up now, right? But I still think that he could be here for another year or two. The difference between him and Frank Ragnow is he was fine before the injury. The injury really got into his head because all injuries do. But he's fine now. We'll see. Injuries do change us. If he gets hurt again, or if he's hurt at the end of the year and it lingers the whole damn time, that could change anybody's thought process. Devin Davis, what do you think about Hutchinson's new contract? I like it a lot. Great. He got paid $45 million a year, I think $180 million. It's a 4-year extension, so it's 5 more years. Great deal. Well deserved. I'm not going to get mad about players getting the contract they deserve. Every contract that we have given out, they have deserved. What was the one player everybody ripped on that we gave a contract extension to? And I said, no, it was deserved. Derek Barnes. Nobody talks about him that much. Yet, his work ethic is so good, I knew he'd be fine. When you give bags to players, you worry that they take plays off. None of the plays, or none of the players that we've paid take plays off. When St. Brown got money, he ain't taking plays off. Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Aleem McNeil. We all know Hutchins the same way. We go down the line. This ain't Albert Complainsworth. Are we happy with our backup quarterback? Yeah. Kyle Allen proved enough to me in the preseason that if Goff went down for a game or a series, that he can hold the fort down. Obviously, he's a significant downgrade from Jared Goff, clearly. Like all backups are. But I think he can hold the fort down for a game or a series. Now, if we're talking weeks on end, well, you're just screwed there. From Shift, what do you think about Dermot Jones from the Titans? He's a sleeper trade candidate for edge. I haven't heard a lot about him at all. I got to keep it. I haven't heard this is the first time I've heard it. I haven't heard a single rumor on that. But about any player that's low edge, that's what I would be looking at. But I haven't heard a single thing on him. Says I wouldn't mind an Artikia edition. Would have to give him a much him. And that's the thing. That's if they're doing they're going to do a trade. It'd be for a low end player, right? Something, and you got to look at the contract. That's not going to do much to them this year. They want to roll over some money for next year because we need it. So you're not going to get a mega deal, and we don't need to get a mega trade. We're not at that position, guys. We're just not. We don't need to get that. Like, our defense is really good right now. If they complement, if edge or a corner just for edge or just for to have a backup and to have a complement, that's it. This team is solid, and they're getting healthy now. They are. So you'll have a rotation. Once Davenport is healthy, whenever he is, you're going to have a damn good rotation. Hassanin, Davenport, Al-Qadim Mohammed, if they decided to make a trade for a key, something like that, a low end. Joshua Pascal, if he ever decides to return, and I'm going to tell you what, they're not actually counting on him. And I'm going to tell you what, he's not going to be here after this year. Backup tackle. Yeah, but you want to know, here's the problem. Everybody needs a left tackle. That's the problem. Here is a solution, though. If Taylor Decker were to go down for some series of time, like a period of time, and it's a big deal, we're talking about a real serious injury, not like just the shoulder, but something we're talking about that would affect. They would move Penei Sewell to the left side, and then they would just bring someone into the right side. But guys, that's not the case here. Taylor Decker was dealing with he's recovering from a cleanup. It takes a while to recover from that stuff, and it does linger. I literally had the same thing. I had a cleanup. So I know if he's starting to feel better, it could be healed now. Hashtag FGB, who would be a surprise trade for us? A surprise trade? I'm not going to be surprised on any mid-level, low-tier trade at all. 0. I would be shocked if they've traded away a player. That would stun me. If they just traded away a player. That would shock me. But nothing's going to shock me. I give it almost a 0% chance of them doing a big-name trade. So it's not going to happen. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Got a couple for you. I'm finna try a super chat. Your stream allowed me to watch the game late because I was at a concert. Yeah, so it will still play even if it's not live. So that's good that YouTube does that for you so you're able to listen to it. So that's awesome. And I'm happy that you're able to listen to the game. Yeah, so he was dealing with a shoulder injury. This is not the normal thing for Taylor Decker. If you watched it, he was really favoring that left shoulder, really bad. And I've had left shoulder surgery. I know exactly it. So when you have shoulder injury, you have ligaments and tendons in there, and for mine, all of that stuff got ripped out, and they have to surgically put it back together, and that holds everything in place, right? Right, that holds everything in place. Sometimes, and why I had to have cleanup surgery, and maybe this is the same thing with Taylor Decker, you have damaged pieces inside there, so they want to remove the damaged area, or some of the stuff wasn't tightened up enough, and that can linger. So, like when I lift weights or whatever, I'm very cognizant of my left shoulder. Because even though I had the surgery, I know, like if I do that, it can hurt and it can kind of pop a little bit. And when you're a lineman, what are you doing? He's using his arms to push. What happens? Well, you're doing this, you're pushing the shoulder back, and it's causing a lot of pain. So that's what the issue is going on there. So if now the pain is gone, you're going to see the play take up. But it's that stability of that shoulder, and it means a lot, especially for a tackle. Especially for a tackle. So if it is healed, he should be good to go. We got a super chat by Kyle Gelman.
Ultra combo breaker. Ultra combo.
Thank you so much, my friend, and God bless you for that super chat. Truly appreciate it. Every little thing helps, and I'm always going to be one of those guys, even if I got 10,000 people in the chat. I don't know if you ever see these channels. They can have a lot of people in the chat, and they get a bunch of super chats, and they don't even acknowledge it. Hell no. I try to acknowledge every super chat, and I try to acknowledge everybody in the chat, even if they don't. I'm not a rich person. I want to acknowledge everybody. I appreciate everybody that do super chat because it really means a lot. But you even being in here means a lot. So I try to hit everybody. He wants it. Oh my God. Let me get my oh my God up there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I did wide receiver in high school. I played wide receiver, favorite position of all time. Yes, I was a cocky little SOB too. Every time I'd get a first down, that's the position I played. Love the wide receiver position. Not a diva, never was. I took major hits, a lot of pain. Maybe that's another reason why my back is so bad. But I definitely was those guys that would, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, first down, right in your face. Do you see us making a trade here soon? Before the trade deadline, yeah. But don't expect some crazy name, guys. Don't expect a high-end trade. Medium-end trade. To low-end. Maybe just back up. Expect that. Don't expect something big. A lot of people are going to get mad. Why didn't we get Trey Hendrickson? Why didn't we get Max Crosby? Why didn't we get Myles Garrett? Don't get mad. It's not going to happen. Just expect it. It was a little bit, but Say brought it up a trillion times better than me, man. That dude's a trillion times better. But I was the cocky guy, and I did take the hit in the middle. I was not the biggest guy. I'm 6 foot tall, 107. I think 160 in high school, 160 in high school. Will Tesla get a bigger role soon? Man, I hope. Jamie Clark, this is the one thing I am not happy about with the offense. A lot of this stuff I've been saying is not, I wouldn't even be mad at the coordinator. It's the offensive line, whatever. Like you can look at things, and honestly, the issues that we had is minor. But one thing that I have been irritated about, play Tesla. He's a difference maker. I love Khalif Raymond. How many times have you heard me talk on this damn thing since we've had this player that he's the most underrated player on the team? I've talked about him many times. Tesla's better. He's a game changer, game wrecker. Get him the football. Get him the football. We have got to get plays to get this man the ball and not just throwing it in the end zone. No, get him involved in the middle of the field. Give him do quick slants with him. He's a big body, 6'5". He's one-on-one. Throw it to the sideline. Do an over-the-shoulder pass the sideline. He's going to get it. He's bigger than everybody. Jared Goff can accurately throw that to that over-the-shoulder where it's only him can get it. And if you're going to throw a 50-50 ball to a guy who catches things with one hand, who's 6'5", make plays for him specifically, just like J-Mo. You got to do that. That is the one thing I am going to gripe about. Do you think we draft a quarterback in the draft? No. No, we don't draft a quarterback. I don't see. Kyle Allen is fine as the backup right now. If they want to get a young guy, really young, because Kyle Allen's he's not like he's old or anything, they can just get an undrafted guy. Jared Goff's their quarterback for the foreseeable future. So there's no really need for that. To me, that's a wasted draft pick. Please rate the NFC tight ends. Hockenson, Kraft, Laporta, Kmet. Laporta, 1. Kyle Kmet, 2. Kraft, 3. Hockenson, 4. I think Hockenson could get traded out of the North by the trade deadline. he's just, I don't know, he hasn't been, they've been saying he can do this and this and this. He didn't do it in Detroit that much. He didn't do it over there in Minnesota that much. He wasn't worth the money. He's getting paid like he's like top 3 tight end. And at some point, you did have quarterback Matthew Stafford. You did have quarterback Jared Goff. You had Kirk Cousins under you. KOC was your head coach over there. Show me something. So I'm going to go with him as the last. Do you think that Morton's overwhelming the amount of talent that we have and he don't know how to use them in the ball? Yes. That I don't think overwhelmed. I don't think that's the case. Not overwhelmed. I think this is just a problem that everybody has. Morton and Ben Johnson, anybody's going to have. I mean, there's just so much balls that can go around. You literally, unless literally we do a game that is so much offense where Jared Goff is throwing 500 yards and, it's one of those games. There's no need for that. We don't have to do that. Jared Goff don't need to do that no more. He do 230 yards. We can rush for 150 yards and win a game. So, there's just so much yards to go around. You can't feed everybody. And a part of this team, you have to be selfless. And they are. These players are selfless. But I want to see Tesla on the field more. I'm tired of seeing him not on the field. I want more snaps on the field, and that is a coaching thing. You just put him on the field more and then get specific plays for him. So now I want to say overwhelmed. I just say that there's just a lot of players. 2 realistic players you can see coming to Detroit. Reek Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. That's a realistic one. I'm trying to go back and forth who I think they're going to go with, if they're going to go with an edge. There's a lot of edge prospects, but I like to be. I'm going to go with, I feel like Jalen Phillips is getting pushed by other teams as well. But you got to understand, Dan Campbell knows a little bit, but Arden Key just makes the most sense to me because of low-end everything. He's not going to cost you much. His contract's nothing. But Jalen Phillips makes the most sense to regard of what they want out of an edge. So those would be those are 3 realistic ones that I would have. That's how I'd go there. Let's see. Depth trade, maybe a couple. Yeah, they could do. And a lot of teams do the depth trade stuff. We're already seeing it in the NFL. Trade deadline, that's just a part of it. So if we do a trade for a low-end guy, I'll talk about it a little bit. But to keep it a buck, if it is a backup, guys, don't go out there. I'm not going to say out there this is how this player is sending the Lions to the Super Bowl if it's just a backup lineman or something. Okay? No. I'm not going to say that. It's a complementary piece that will help the Lions out, whoever it's going to be. Tulloch, Levi, I'm taking Jack Campbell. I like Stephen Tulloch. I like what he did. Great. DeAndre Levy. I liked him. Injury prone. Kept getting injured. Campbell has not done that yet. I'm going to take Campbell there. And Thor, I like Thor, but this is his last year in Detroit. Campbell's going to be here for a long time. Long time. We lost so many points on the board versus the Bucs. Yes, we did. And we still won by double digits. We can rely on our defense now. We have been so concerned about the offense. Everybody keeps talking about the offense. I'm not concerned. Let's talk about the defense. Complementary football. Who cares about stats? I don't care. Who cares about records? I don't care. I care about wins and getting to a Super Bowl. And right now, this defense is playing at a level where we can get to a Super Bowl. Special teams is playing at a high level. Offense is playing at a high level. This team is Super Bowl worthy right now. And we're getting healthy at the right time, so I don't care. I want to win games. If we win it, we beat a team by 30 points, that's epic. We love it. We beat a team by 1 point, that's epic. I love it. We lost to Kansas City. No one's really even thinking about that no more. We're 5-2. We get that big win for the Bucs. See how the media plays it out, folks? And this is what upsets the fans. It's why I tell you guys just calm down. Because we do these power rankings. Lions win, you go up in the rankings, everybody's happy. Lions lose, they drop 10 spots. Same old Lions. And so it freaks the fans out. When the Lions were winning, we were great. We lose to Kansas City, they drop out of the top 10. We win versus Buccaneers, they go all the way to the top 3. Who cares? We need to get to a Super Bowl. Let's look at the teams objectively. Right now, Lions, to me, are in the best spot to win a Super Bowl right now. They're healthy. They're getting healthy at the right time. Okay? They're getting healthy at the right time. The whole team. The offensive line, it gets more continuity every single week. These young guys like Tate Ratledge and Mahogany, they're not each week that passes, they become more of a veteran. And I told you, by the time we get to the end of the year, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we're going to be able to whoop people by the time it's the end of the year because those guys will know a lot by then, and the continuity will be good. The defense is getting better by the week. As, again, they learn, this is a new offense and a new defense, technically. So each week they're learning more and more. So it's going to get better with the continuity. Our schedule, in my opinion, eases up. You look at it, you're like, the Eagles? No way. Come on, man. We're going to beat the Vikings. The Commanders are in a world of hurt right now. They're banged up. These two teams are banged up. Philadelphia Eagles, I watched them. I have watched them all year. The Lions can beat them. They can beat them. The Packers, they got us week 1. You know what happens when you get beat one time? What happens with Dan Campbell? You're going to make sure that happens again, we win. So I have a great feeling we're going to win in Green Bay versus Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Dallas, we're going to beat them. They got a good offense, but they got to stop their defensive cheeks. Lions could put up 50 on them. We got to play the Vikings again. The Bears, we already decimated. The Rams are a good team. That's going to be the challenging one. That's going to be a fun one. The Steelers, the Lions will beat the crap out of them. So, we're looking good. I look at the Lions situation right now, and I am happy. I didn't think we'd be 5-2 at this point, but we are. Right now, I think I was predicting 11 to 12 wins. Now I'm pushing to 13 wins right now. And if they beat, say, the Rams, where I think I have a loss for them, I have a loss for the Rams. And if they go out there and win it, holy crap, be even more than I thought. This team's good, guys. Enjoy it. This team is a really good team. We're beating the crap out of teams. We lost to an AFC team on the road versus Kansas City, where our secondary was banged up against an elite, and we had bad calls. And if we got a touchdown on that first drive, who knows how the game goes? We can compete with anybody. We can compete with anybody. Oh, the Lions didn't have good wins. Bull crap. Everybody said the Buccaneers were the best, and then we beat them. Everybody was saying the Ravens were great. They were healthy then, and we beat them. So, Cleveland Browns, great defense. Bengals, don't care. We're beating teams. And not only are we beating teams, but we're beating the crap out of them. You're not supposed to hit double digits on teams in the NFL. That's not supposed to happen. Man, wins, it's all about wins. Winning Super Bowl and getting victories. That's what I want. I just want to win. Nothing else. I want a championship in Detroit. We've had all the records. 15-2. We've hosted a playoff game. We've got to the championship game. We've seen great records. We've had, I don't care. I just want to get a ring. Who do you think is getting the number one seed, and who do you see win the division? Lions and Lions. The Lions and Lions. I have them winning the Super Bowl this year. Right now, they're the most complete team in the NFL. They're Colts, too. The Colts are pretty damn good. They're complete as well. They're a good team, guys. And we're getting healthy at the right. That's the difference from last year. It is the complete difference. And last year's injuries was way worse. I mean, we're talking about knocking Hutch out, Ali McNeil out, Carlton Davis went out. It was rough, man. Our injuries were not that bad. Terrion Arnold's going to be back. DJ Reed's going to be back in a week. Marcus Davenport at some point will be back, but we're just using him as a rotation guy when he comes back. The offensive line is getting healthier. Taylor Decker. And our backup. Rookie. Right? So, it's a good time to be a Lions fan right now. Yeah. Dude, we're going to lose. Oh, well. Oh, well. When we lose, who cares? We're trying to get to a Super Bowl. Now, we lose in the playoffs, or that's when I'm going to get pissed, right? That's when we got to get pissed. Score prediction for this week. I think the Lions are going to destroy the Vikings. I'm going to go with 42 to 22, something of that nature. I believe the Lions are going to curb stomp them. Man, I still feel like, I don't know, the NFL favors Kansas City a lot. They do. I'd like the Colts to do it. I'd like it for another team. But Taylor Swift, so I'll go with the Vikings. I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I want the Colts, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I want anybody else, but they're going to go with the Chiefs. Brent, thank you, my friend. Comment of the day. That's all we need, man. And there's a lot of old Lions fans in here, way older than me, that are absolutely, that's all they want. Before they die, before I die. Do the Green Day's tie will haunt the Lions? No, because the Lions just got to face, we got to face Green Bay. So if we didn't have to face the Packers, I would say yes. But if the Lions beat Green Bay on Thanksgiving, then it's not going to matter anyways. So the Lions just got to beat the Packers. If we lose to the Packers, it's not going to matter. So the tie is not going to matter. That Packers game is going to matter everything. Set one Lions membership up there, Mark.
Combo breaker.
Hey, Mark, shout out to you. The Vanilla Gorilla, you just got a membership, my friend. Show some love to Mark for helping you out right there. That's awesome. That's awesome. Appreciate you. We got football tonight. It's going to be a great game, hopefully. We love football. Monday, we're going to be live. Not Monday, Sunday, we're going to be live at noon. We'll do the game, the pre-show, the game, post-game. Be good to go. I am going to do a post-game video because it's a 1 p.m. game. So, I appreciate everybody hanging out. We've been on for an hour. And thank you so much, guys. With that said, folks, adios.